Welcome to the 2010 video training presentation for the New York State Catholic Conference Annual Public Policy Day in Albany. This video is a presentation of the New York State Catholic Conference, the official public policy voice of the Catholic Church in the Empire State. We hope you'll find it helpful and that you enjoy your day. Now, let's begin this presentation.
Thank you for making the trip to our state's capital city. It's Public Policy Day 2010, Catholics at the Capitol. We will advocate for public policies to promote justice, respect for life, and the common good. We will be a visible presence of the body of Christ. We will speak for those who are hurting, the poor, the sick, the unborn, the elderly, the oppressed, and disadvantaged. Our bishops remind us that in the Catholic tradition, responsible citizenship is a virtue, and participation in political life is a moral obligation. Participating in this year's Public Policy Day is one way to put your faith into action. It's important that lawmakers see you, so wear your buttons proudly. Before we get to the issues of the day, let's cover some basic tips for successful advocacy. First, if you are planning to see your lawmaker today, make sure you have an appointment to visit, and then be on time for that appointment. If you don't have an appointment, it's okay to stop in your lawmaker's office to sign the guest book and introduce yourself as a constituent, but don't demand to see your legislator. Instead, make an appointment to see him or her in the district office when you get back home. If you do meet with your lawmaker today, you may only get a few minutes to make your case, so it's important to speak clearly and concisely about the issue you are representing and leave time for others in your meeting to speak on their issues. Be civil and courteous at all times. It's also important to make a personal connection with your lawmaker. Use your first-hand knowledge. If you are a Catholic school parent and the state budget affects you directly, say so. If you work for a charitable agency or hospital or depend on one, share that experience. If you worship at the same parish or were educated at the same school as your lawmaker, be sure to bring up those commonalities. If you only get to meet with your lawmaker's staff person, don't dismay. You are not wasting your time. Legislators trust their staff to filter information and provide sound advice about public policy issues. It is essential to follow up your Albany meeting with a letter, and then another meeting back in the local district office. Consider your Albany visit the first step in beginning a dialogue and a relationship with the people who represent you in the state legislature. Now, let's begin some brief training on the issues of the day. The Church begins its advocacy with a fundamental commitment to human life, which is sacred and worthy of respect from the very first moment of creation. Unborn children are among the most vulnerable and voiceless New Yorkers, and we are duty-bound to speak for them. Introduced as Senate Bill 5808, but not yet introduced in the Assembly, is the so-called Reproductive Health Act. It would elevate abortion to a fundamental right in our state, going beyond current law. It does not simply update New York's abortion laws, as its proponents claim. It would compel societal approval of abortion by prohibiting discrimination against the fundamental right to abortion. When speaking with your lawmakers, urge them to oppose this radical bill. It is extreme, unnecessary, and dangerous. It would ensure that abortion in our state is legal through 9 months of pregnancy, for any reason at all. It could even permit the heinous practice of partial birth abortion. Moreover, the bill could seriously erode religious liberty for Catholic providers. While the bill does contain a conscience clause, it is extremely limited and ambiguous, and fails to protect hospitals and other institutions which do not wish to be involved in abortion. While it appears to protect individuals who don't wish to perform abortions, it offers no protection to those who don't wish to promote or counsel or refer for abortion. Finally, this bill could undermine beneficial maternity programs which favor childbirth over abortion. Favoring childbirth could actually be viewed as discrimination against the fundamental right to abortion. And on the topic of maternity programs, the second issue of focus for Public Policy Day is the Maternity and Early Childhood Foundation. Alarmingly, Governor Patterson's proposed budget would eliminate all funding for this beneficial program. Since 1983, the foundation has provided grants to projects all across the state which help young, low-income pregnant women, fostering proper prenatal care, optimal child health, and positive parenting skills. Urge your lawmakers to restore funding for the Maternity and Early Childhood Foundation in the state budget. The program has proven to be cost-effective in its more than 25-year existence. Yes, this is a disastrous fiscal year, and difficult budget decisions will have to be made in order to keep New York solvent. But the foundation represents an investment in the future. Healthy families and healthy infants mean less dependency on public assistance and foster care down the road. Gently remind your legislators that the state spends approximately $45 million each year on abortion, compared with only about $1 million for the Maternity and Early Childhood Foundation, the only state-funded abortion alternative program, which is now slated for elimination. Even self-described pro-choice lawmakers should understand that pregnant women, especially young, unmarried, low-income women, deserve genuine choices in difficult situations. The Church's advocacy for human life is not limited to the unborn. It extends to all those who are born, no matter what their age, circumstance, abilities, or income. That's why our third issue for Public Policy Day is support for poor families. The current economic climate finds a growing number of New Yorkers experiencing great financial difficulty. More and more families are turning to Catholic charities for the basic necessities of life: food, clothing, money to pay the electricity bill, and vouchers for prescription medications. The Church's social teachings, rooted in the gospel, compel us to assist our neighbors in need. Low-income families struggling to make the transition from welfare to work need what all of us need in order for them to achieve and maintain self-sufficiency. Jobs that pay a decent wage to enable them to live in dignity. Safe and affordable housing to put a roof over the heads of themselves and their families. Quality child care that is affordable and safe for their children. Health insurance benefits. Transportation to enable them to get to their jobs in both urban and rural areas of our state. Education and skills training to enable them to escape dead-end minimum wage jobs and develop the skills that are in demand. But programs designed to ensure these very supports are slated to be either eliminated or drastically reduced in the executive budget. About $200 million in funding for programs last year has been eliminated in this year's proposed budget. This includes such programs as Wheels for Work, supportive housing, summer youth employment, home visiting, emergency homeless assistance, and wage subsidies, which help to create employment opportunities. The New York State Constitution states unequivocally that the aid, care, and support